Chapter 1, Reproduction Plants. Learning Objectives: Reproduction of plants, germination of seeds, dispersal of seeds, crops and agriculture, ways to grow a healthy crop, protecting crops from weather. All living things produce their young ones like themselves during their lifetime so that their species may not die out. The process by which living organisms produce new organisms of the same kind is known as reproduction. There are many ways plants reproduce. Some plants reproduce from seeds. Some plants grow without producing seeds. Walk around a garden or a park. You will observe tiny plants growing in the soil. You may also notice plants growing on the bark of other big trees. Plants reproduce in a number of ways. Flowering plants generally reproduce through seeds, though in some plants a section of the stem may also be used to reproduce a new plant. Non-flowering plants reproduce through seed-like structures called spores. Some plants produce new plants from certain body parts such as leaves, stems, bulbs, etc. Let us now discuss the methods by which plants reproduce. Reproduction from stem. Some plants can grow using a piece of the stem. The stems of plants such as potato, banana, sugarcane and rose can grow into new plants. When a potato with a bud is planted in the soil, it develops into a new plant. Ginger also grows from a section of its stem containing a bud. When a section of a rose stem is cut and planted in the soil, tiny leaves will be seen growing on this stem. It grows as an independent plant. Reproduction from leaves. Observe a mature leaf of bryophyllum plant. You will notice tiny shoots or even plants growing along the notches on the edge of the leaf. If you cut a section of the leaf bearing a shoot and plant it in the soil, it soon grows into a new plant. Plants such as bryophyllums give rise to many young plants on their leaf edges. They grow into new plants. Reproduction from roots. Some plants can reproduce through their roots. Take a medium-sized sweet potato and place it on the mouth of a bottle filled with water so that a part of it is underwater. After a few days, tiny shoots appear from the buds. These shoots later grow into new plants when planted in the soil. Reproductions from spores. Keep a slice of bread in a dish for a few days. You will find a white-colored powdery substance growing on the surface. This is mold, a type of fungi. In a few days, it darkens and finally becomes black in color and spreads on the slice. Such non-green plants reproduce through minute seed-like structures called spores. Observe the underside of a fern leaf. You will notice a chain of green spots on the entire leaf. Soon they turn brown. When they fall on the soil, they germinate like seeds and produce new plants. Reproductions from seeds. Most plants reproduce from seeds. In order to understand this method of reproduction, you will need to know more about the structure of the seed and how it develops into a new plant. Structure of a seed. A seed can give rise to a new plant if it has proper conditions for growth. Soak a few beans, peas or gram seeds in moist cotton wool. you will see that the seed becomes soft and the outer covering can be easily peeled off. The outer covering of the seed is called the seed coat. Open the two parts of the seed and observe the small parts inside it. The seed coat protects the seed. On one side of the seed you will see a long scar where the seed was attached to the pod. At the top of the scar is a tiny hole called the microphyll through which water enters the seed. The two fleshy parts of the seed are called the cotyledons. They provide food for the growing plant. Seeds like grams, kidney, beans, soya beans and peas have two cotyledons. Some plants like rice and wheat have only one cotyledon. Germination of a seed. The development of a seed into a new plant is called germination. A seed germinates when it gets water, warmth from sunlight and air. A seedling grows into a big plant only when it keeps getting water and food from the soil and plenty of sunlight and air. However, all seeds do not germinate. Some seeds are used as food by people and animals. Some are destroyed by heat and rain. Some seeds are not mature and ready for germination. What happens when a seed germinates? The seed takes in water so that it swells and the outer skin splits. A small root starts to grow. A small shoot appears. During this time, the stored food is used. When the seedling has its first green leaves in the sunlight, it starts making its own food. Dispersal of seeds. If all seeds grow very close to the parent plant, they will compete for air, water, minerals, nutrients and sunlight. This competition can be overcome by a process called dispersal of seeds so that they can grow into healthy plants. In order that seeds grow into healthy plants, they must travel far away from the parent plant. Nature has provided a way by which seeds scatter far and wide so that all of them get enough water, space and food to grow. The scattering of seeds over a wide area is called seed dispersal. Seeds are scattered with the help of wind, water, animals or by the explosions of fruits. Wind, water and animals are called agents of dispersal. Dispersal by wind. Wind is an agent of dispersal for seeds that are small and light. Some seeds have special structures that help them to fly. For example, seeds of plants such as drumstick and cinchona have wing-like structures. Some seeds like cotton have tufts of hair and are very light. Strong winds carry them over a wide area. Dispersal by water. Flowing water carries away fruits which fall in it. You may have seen coconuts floating in water in the coastal areas. They are either spongy or fibrous. This enables them to float on water. When a coconut reaches a suitable area, it germinates. Lotus and lilies have seeds which are light and float on water. Dispersal by explosion. When the fruits of some plants dry, the fruit walls burst open and the seeds are flung around the soil. Plants like balsam, castor, pea and ladyfinger spread their seeds by explosion. Dispersal by animals. Birds, animals and certain insects also help in seed dispersal. Sometimes seeds or fruits have special structures such as spines, hooks or a rough covering that helps them to stick to the fur of animals, feathers of birds or even people's clothes when they brush against the parent plant. Some seeds spread when people, animals and birds eat the fleshy fruits and throw away the seeds. We eat fruits like papaya, mango, etc. and throw away the hard seeds. Monkeys and squirrels eat foods like mango, guava, etc. and discard the seeds. The seeds fall on the ground and grow into new plants. Crops and agriculture. Plants that are grown in a specific area in a particular season are called crops. Farmers grow crops such as wheat, rice, jowar, bajra, millet, barley and corn. We also use the seeds of some plants as pulses. They are rich in proteins. In India, the crop growing seasons are summer. Chapter 1, Reproduction Plants. Learning objectives. Reproduction of plants. Summer crops are called kharif crops. Rice, maize, jowar, bajra, brinjal and pumpkin are kharif crops. Crops grown in winter are called rabi crops. Wheat, gram, cabbage and cauliflower are rabi crops. Ways to grow a healthy crop. Plants need special care in order to give enough yield. We have to prepare the soil in a special way. We also have to provide proper amount of water and fertilizers to the soil. For a good, healthy crop, we must use healthy seeds, prepare the soil properly, add manure or fertilizers to the soil, irrigate the soil, use insecticides and pesticides to kill the pests that are harmful for the crops. Crops should be protected from insects like caterpillars, grasshoppers, locusts and plant lice. Animals like rats, birds, squirrels and moles eat up the fruits and seeds of crops. They should be kept away from the fields. Protecting crops from weather. Store the harvested crops in airtight containers where water, insects and other animals cannot reach. Seeds should be stored in big bins. Keywords: germination, development of a seed into seedling, dispersal, scattering or spreading, pest, a creature that is harmful or destructive. Looking back, plants reproduce through seeds or a part such as leaf, stem or root. A seed is covered with a seed coat and has one or two cotyledons. The development of a seed into a new plant is called germination. When seeds fall to the ground and get water, air and sunlight, they germinate. Seeds must be dispersed in order to germinate and produce new plants. Seeds are dispersed by agents such as wind, water, animals and explosions of fruits. Plants that are grown in a specific area in a particular season are called crops. Plants need special care in order to give enough yield. Summer crops are called